It's 1 week until I leave for the Paris Olympic Games. Athletes must prepare to be standing for 9 hours during the opening ceremony. Why would I do a bicep curl when I'm not doing anything like that motion in gymnastics? Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Olympic Journey podcast. We're almost there. It's 1 week until I leave for the Paris Olympic Games, and that's super exciting to say, I must admit. So thank you for joining me on this little update podcast where I go through kind of training updates, what's coming up this week, what you can expect from the next videos leading into the Paris Olympic Games that you'll hopefully be watching. If you want to keep up to date with those videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I'll keep this podcast around 20 minutes long, so you can set your phone down, listen to it while doing the dishes, or look at my pretty face as I'm on YouTube right now. First things first, training update. Where has my training been? So pretty much what's happened is, and I've mentioned this in previous podcasts, where we ramp up the training to try and get my fitness as good as possible. So that means doing 3 routines each day, blasting the conditioning, trying just to berating my body, going through the harshest of training possible. And then now we're actually at a nice phase where we're now dropping down into what's called tapering in the program. So we're only doing 1, maybe 2 routines each day. The conditioning is a lot lighter. The stress even on my mind is a lot lighter, and I think that's what that tapering side of the program is for as well, is to just chill you out a little bit more. It's to not make you stressed. It's not make you tired for each session. You want to be feeling at your best in these couple of weeks leading into the first competition. And that first competition is on the 27th of July. So the opening ceremony for the Olympic Games is the 26th of July. Unfortunately, because that means I'm competing the next day after the opening ceremony, that means I can't go to the opening ceremony, which is sad. But it's always been the way with gymnastics. And I feel like because I've known that throughout my whole career, I've made peace with it that I'll not go to an opening ceremony. I did go to the London 2012 opening ceremony just as a spectator because I was only 12 years old at the time. So I feel like I ticked that off. I was like, yeah, been there, done that. Now I can watch the rest on a TV in the Olympic Village. And I think that's just as exciting. Because I saw that they put out a memo to all of the athletes in the delegation. Athletes must prepare to be standing for 9 hours during the opening ceremony. And the day before a competition, that is just a no-go. You want to be preserving that energy as much as possible. So sad I'm not going, but at the same time, it's completely wise to miss out and rest up for the competition day on the 27th. So training is going good. My body's feeling healthy. I'm feeling healthy. My mind is good. I'm nice and relaxed. And I think it's gotten to the point now where I'm genuinely excited to get out to Paris, because the media hype or even just the social interactions between people shows that, they were almost excited for me too early. Okay, so that means that about 2 months ago, people were like, well, Paris Olympic Games, are you excited to go to Paris? And I was almost like, well, I can't think about that yet, because I've got to do this intense training block. I've got to do these loads of routines. I've got to get confident with this routine before I can even think of going to Paris. And now that we're at this point now, I'm really looking forward to getting out there. I'm really looking forward to just being in that holding camp first of all. So what we're going to do is go out to Paris a week before we go into the Olympic Village, go into a holding camp, do some training there. We don't need to get used to jet lag or anything. It's only a 1 hour flight, 1 hour time difference as well. So there's none of that needs taken care of. What's more happening there is just keeping my mind in gymnastics and not outside of gymnastics. So it's taken me away from my hometown, friends, family. Although it is nice to be around friends and family, it's also nice to be detached from it and make gymnastics just the priority for those couple of weeks leading into the competition. So I'm looking forward to that. That's the first stage of the kind of Paris journey, and I'll of course be taking you guys along with me on that by vlogging and recording as much as I can and sharing what I'll be doing on a daily basis. Something that'll help me with that, and this little thing is thanks to the Patreon supporters. You know, when you join the Patreon, you're pretty much supporting this YouTube channel and supporting me make content for you guys to watch. And I reinvested some of the money from the Patreon and put it into this little gadget. And it's a tripod, and it also functions the camera from these little buttons here. So that's really awesome, and it's going to be really handy even with training. So if I maybe set the camera up halfway across the gym, I can just use this to like zoom in and zoom out, and obviously press record, take a photo, whatever I need to. This can do via Bluetooth, which is awesome. It's really cool, really handy, and yeah, it'll hopefully make the content for you guys a lot more enjoyable. So thank you for the Patreon supporters who have helped make this a little bit easier to capture content. If you want to join the Patreon, the link will be in the description of this video. And of course, thank you to the existing Patreon supporters for continuing to support the channel. Yeah, so what I wanted to touch on next was I mentioned this in the last video. I want you guys to comment under this video or any other video of the coming days that I'll be posting, and comment what you would like to see in the Olympic Games, whether that be the Olympic Games village, the gymnastics arena, the holding camp that I'll be in. Comment any little tiny thing that you can think of that you'll think, okay, that'll actually be quite interesting to see. You know, what's the bed sheets like? What are the dining halls like? What kind of food are the athletes getting? Comment it in the video, and I will read the comments of each YouTube video and make sure I'll write it down. I'll make like a checklist of things that I need to go through to be like, okay, I need to get this footage for Brian who commented the other day. And you know, it's putting you guys in the driver's seat of these videos, and that's exactly what I want to try and do, is create the best experience for you guys possible. And you know, I hope I can bring that to you, and I'm excited because I'm hoping that some people will comment things that I won't even think about, that I'll be like, okay, I need to check that out. You know, if there's like a lounge area that you've seen on somebody else's TikTok or Instagram, you just comment, Reese, go check out this lounge, and then I'll be happy to, because the Olympic Village is an awesome place, and I'm really looking forward to just seeing it with fresh eyes. What I've done recently is not even look at any other content around the Olympic Village tours on the Olympics channel or anything, because I want to just walk in there and like absorb it all for myself and just see it as a fresh point of view, and then obviously capture that content for you guys to enjoy. So another thing I wanted to do today was just go through a couple of questions that you guys have asked in the most recent YouTube video, the most recent vlog, and yeah, I thought this would be a good opportunity to answer those. And I guess we'll start off with a Patreon supporter who has asked on the Patreon, my son wonders how many circles on the pommel horse does a world champion do or can do, and the answer to that is kind of unknown, but I can tell you that like last year sometime, I done 100 circles and then done a handstand dismount after those 100 circles, and this was on the actual pommel horse with 2 handles. So that was a really cool test of like endurance, and then being able to do a handstand dismount at the end of doing 100 circles. So that's like I don't know, it's probably like 3 times the amount of circles that I would normally do in a pommel horse routine. So to be able to do a dismount after those 100 circles means that I can, of course I can do a handstand dismount after my full routine, and that's meant to be the kind of mental test that doing those maximum circles does. So I want to give those maximum circles another go though. I feel like I can do more than 100 on 2 handles for sure. I would be interested to see how much I could do on the 1 handle, but who knows, after the games you'll maybe be seeing a new record. I don't know what the world record is for on the actual pommel horse. I know that there's an Australian gymnast, Vedant, who is done a crazy number on the mushroom, which is like the learning equipment for doing circles on the big pommel horse. So it gives a little bit more leeway and stuff, but that is not taking anything away from that Australian gymnast. I highly recommend you typing into YouTube like the mushroom pommel horse world record, and it's a crazy number. I think it's like 900 or something. I don't know how that guy done it, but here we are talking about it. So I'll go on to another question. This is from the YouTube comment section under the last vlog. And this one's quite interesting. Why do you always simulate a front support kind of position before you start your routines? I saw it in the video and at Antwerp last year. Is it something that you always do to get into the headspace of that routine or not? And the answer is yes. Like everything I do in my conditioning, in my warm-up, it's always to get my body familiarized with the positions that I'll be hitting in the routine on pommel. Every single exercise I'm doing, I'm thinking about how does this apply to my pommel horse routine. And I think that is exactly what gymnastics should be centered around, is that functional strength. It's that application to specific skills, because I mean, you don't ever see me lifting weights, and the reason for that is, why would I build up muscle mass that, you know, for example, a bicep curl? Why would I do a bicep curl when I'm not doing anything like that motion in gymnastics? And that's why if you were to go through all my videos and pick out a conditioning exercise and say, Reece, what is this for? I'll say to you, you know, it's for the scissor to handstand, the first skill in my routine, or it's for my triple Russian in the middle, you know, that front support position when I'm doing Russians on the pommel horse, which I do a lot of on the one handle, in the middle, on the end, traveling back and forth. Those are all in front support positions, as well as the front position of my circle. So that front support position is very important throughout the entire routine. So getting it into my head, the correct body position, how tight I need to make my core, how straight my arms should be, how pushed up my shoulders can be, it's all very applicable. And I think that's something for any gymnast watching this now, is a very important note to take, is that, you know, are you doing your conditioning exercises for something, or are you just doing it for the sake of doing it? And I think if your answer is the latter, then you need to maybe alter something, maybe in the conditioning or the way that you're doing it in your head. So that's a great question and great observation as well. Another question is, what does your downtime look like? I assume there is some kind of time outside of practice once you get there. I presume you're talking about when we go to the Olympic Games village. You know, of course, I'm not going to be training all day long. I don't train all day long when I'm at home, so I wouldn't be doing that when I go to the Olympic Games village. And you know, the answer to that is, like, my downtime looks like a lot of different things. You know, I could be editing these videos, that takes up a lot of my time. I could be doing podcasts. I could be, you know, something I done with Luke a lot when I was in Tokyo was we just went down to this little grassy area and played chess. So I haven't played chess in a long time, actually, but it's something that me and Luke always like to do when we're away on trips. So hopefully that can come back, and I'll school Luke at a chess game. We need to keep some sort of tally to see who's the overall Olympic Games champion of chess between me and Luke. So that's kind of what we're doing. It's not anything too active. We're not going to be tiring ourselves out. We're going to just be doing activities that keep us amused but not drain us in our energy. I say us, like me and Luke, but Luke will actually be going to the gym a lot. So for Luke, my coach, he said, like, this Olympic Games time is a perfect time to, like, bulk up for him, because in the village there's going to be this fitness gym that he'll be going to. In Tokyo, I think he went to like 2 or 3 times per day. He would just do it before every meal, and then just go to the dining hall straight away. And if you watch my vlogs from back then, you'll hear me saying, like, this is bulking season for Luke, because it's just his time that he can be in the gym, like, flat out. And it's a pretty cool opportunity to do. And he's I believe he's got this competition. My coach has got a competition with other coaches, especially ones from Great Britain, who can be the biggest like the strongest and most muscly coaches there, and I think Luke is determined to take on some of the other coaches, so that'll be interesting to see. But that's like a little sideline competition that you can maybe follow on my YouTube channel. And who knows, maybe it'll make the TV. Maybe it'll become an Olympic sport, bodybuilding, but only between the coaches. So here's another question. I think it is the last one. Yes, the last question. Would you like to know who the nicest neighbor? Oh no, this is her asking actually, or him asking. Would like to know who the nicest neighbors are in the village and the most fun to be around. I would like to know that too. And the very pleasant thing about that is that this time we can communicate with our neighbours in the village. You know, I really look forward to that aspect of the games this time, is just meeting other Olympians, asking them how their Olympic cycle has been, what successes they've had, what lessons they've had, and just getting to know these people that are at the top of their level in sport. And it's something that we just couldn't do in Tokyo because of COVID, that we didn't want to get COVID from anybody. Everyone had their masks on, even outside. We didn't want to come into touch with anybody because if you got COVID, you were out of there. So I can't wait to go to the Paris Olympic Games and just talk with other Olympians. It's so exciting to me, and I feel like that's going to be one of the highlights of my trip, is just communicating with people, getting to know their story, and really just enjoying their presence. And yeah, hopefully we'll meet up with other gymnasts and other people from other sports and everything as well. So I think that's such an exciting thing to look forward to, and I'll bring you guys on that journey as well, of course, and allow the vlog to say hello to many other Olympic athletes. So that's the end of the questions. I mean, there's not much more I can really touch on this week. As I said, like, training's winding down now. I'm tapering. I'm feeling good. It's just like those final touches to the routine that I have left. And it's a really nice part of that program, because it's just like piecing together those last pieces of the jigsaw puzzle. If you could imagine like the entire competition build up as a jigsaw puzzle, the starting parts and the middle part is like challenging. You don't know which pieces go where, but then when you're coming towards the end of it, you're just like filling the gaps that are a lot easier. And the more pieces you put in, the easier it is to complete that full jigsaw puzzle. And that's what my training is looking like right now. We're just doing the final touches. We're polishing up the routine, and yeah, as long as we stay healthy and injury free, which is a priority for sure, then you'll hopefully see the best version of my gymnastics at that Paris Olympic Games. And I can't wait for that opportunity. I can't wait just to be out there in Paris. Oh, I'm so excited. And yeah, I guess we're a little bit shy of 20 minutes, but that's okay. It was meant to be a short update. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you took something from it. I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay positive, keep smiling. Catch you guys later. Oh, I can use this.